the pleasure to present to you Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
Martin Luther King walked up to the podium on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial and began.
I am happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation.
Good evening. Dr. Martin Luther King, the apostle of nonviolence in the civil rights movement, has been shot to death in Memphis, Tennessee. Police have issued an all-points bulletin for a well-dressed young white man seen running from the scene. Officers also reportedly chased and fired on a radio-equipped car containing 2 white men. Dr. King was standing on the balcony of a second-floor hotel room tonight when, according to a companion, a shot was fired from across the street. In the friend's words, the bullet exploded in his face.
On the 5th of December, 1955, fine, dignified, disciplined, courageous seamstress from this community was sitting down on a bus. Sister Rosa Parks, with dignity and discipline, said in substance that the cup of endurance has run over. I can take it no longer. Martin Luther, back in the 16th century, who said, "Here I stand and I can do none other, so help me God." It was Rosa Parks who on the 1st of December said, "Here I sit and I can do none other, so help me God."
I had never even heard of Dr. King until that night. And I never got emotional in the church before in my life until that night. And I screamed out to the top of my voice, "Lord, you have sent us a leader."
I have some very sad news for all of you, and I think sad news for all of our fellow citizens and people who love peace all over the world. And that is that Martin Luther King was shot and was killed tonight in Memphis, Tennessee.
A dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
It means so much to me that Martin Luther King Jr. Day is the day before the inauguration of Barack Obama as President of the United States. Getting to know Dr. King, working with him, made me a different person, a better person. It turned me on not just to the way of nonviolence, the way of passive resistance, but he also taught me a life of service. As Dr. King would say, everybody can serve. Everybody. And if you can serve, you can be great. It's great to forget about your own circumstances, your own problems, and get involved in the circumstances and the problems of others.
Especially on the eve of the day when he becomes the first black man ever to become president. It's Martin Luther King Day. It does seem to be a day when many, many people, I can say this certainly from this country, seem to realize that America has come a very long way.
Not only has America come a long way, Dan, but I think the world has come a long way. He steps in, yes, as an African-American leader in a country, one of the great European powers, an extension of one of the European powers in some ways. And he's the first of his kind. He's the first of his kind to do this in any one of the like say, France, Germany, around the world. And I think he signals something new. And I think that it's a wonderful thing to see this on Martin Luther King Day, and for us to accept it. We all, you say we've forgotten, and we have, but we've sort of parsed it and put it away, because we've all known it. We've known how important it is for this to happen. And we wonder how important the symbolism will carry. You know, if you think of the great leaders, Frederick Douglass, he contributed to getting rid of one set of barriers, political barriers in the Civil War, and Martin Luther King, a set of structural barriers, which segregation and separated people. Now Obama has an opportunity to get rid of cultural barriers, those final barriers in the mind, in our hearts, where we see each other differently. And how wonderful to be a multicultural character who in his own story does that bridge work. So I think we're all hopeful for that reason, and the sense of history is remarkable. Everyone knows this is an historical moment, and I don't think I've ever lived through one quite like this.
I got a dream. One day we're gonna work it out. One day we're gonna work it out. One day we're gonna work it out. I have a dream. I got a dream. One day we're gonna work it out. One day we're gonna work it out. One day we're gonna work it out. I have a dream. I got a dream. That one day, I'ma look deeper than myself. I gotta find a way. I have a dream. My dream is to be free. My dream is to be. My dream is to be. My dream is to be free. In search of brighter days, I write through the maze of the madness. Struggle is my address with pain and cracked lips. Gunshots coming from sounds of blackness. Given this game with no time to practice. Born on a blacklist. Told I'm below average. A life with no cabbage. That's no money if you from where I'm from. Funny, I just want some of your son. Dark clouds seem to follow me. Alcohol that my pop swallowed bottle me. No apology, I walk with a boulder on my shoulder. It's a cold war, I'm a colder soldier. Hold the same fight that made Martin Luther the king. I ain't using it for the right thing. In between lean and the fiends, hustle and the schemes, I put together pieces of a dream. I still have one.